Hello.
So hopefully word can spread quickly that we're actually streaming to PAX 2, not Warframe. Our Canadian crew is hopefully getting us hosted on
they're
our...
helping for sure.
They got it, but we
They
are
got it.
here.
And
I think,
it'll be archived as well.
yes, so
Okay, all right.
fear not, and hopefully you guys are astute note takers, and we'll treat this like a university class where you'll all be graded after on who
Yeah,
gets
take notes. Take
the most
copious
karma
notes
for their
as we're-
sharing.
as we're
So
talking.
I can't really see. Like, there's so much.
I know, there's
volumetric lighting in
I
this theater.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it.
I think this room was a bit behind schedule, so we're kind of early technically, but not.
yeah?
So
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know.
Delayed.
This is an amazing.
Delayed.
That's clever. This is an
I love
amazing
those.
venue so far. I'm just still kind of, I can't get over how beautiful PAX Australia is.
Yes,
The
it is.
organization,
Wow.
everyone here has been amazing, and we have a panel today.
Oh, yeah,
guys.
what's our panel about?
Our panel is sponsored in part by Tim Tams.
So these are from. They're so good. These are from Psy21, who is in the audience somewhere.
It's a little better than Marmite. Well,
All right, that's.
Okay.
I don't get one.
oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's cool. It's fine. I already had a whole package. It's cool.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
we are here today to do a panel. If you don't know much about Warframe and you read the booklet, you probably saw something that looks like this. This means that we were kind of pitching this panel as a little more broad because we weren't sure on November this time what we'd actually be talking about. Would there be an update out? I don't know. So let's make the most
are you
vague
trying to say?
description possible.
What are you
And
implying with our
Yeah, are you trying to say
update
that we're-
schedule?
I'm implying we're winging it. So
Yeah,
we'll
okay.
go with that.
Okay,
And
cool. All right.
we'll talk to you guys a little bit about who we are and what we're going to talk to you about today. First of all, hi from Digital Extremes in London, Ontario, Canada. It took us 30 hours to get here, but here we are.
It was worth it.
It would
Yep.
be worth it, for sure.
I am DE Rebecca. Some know me as.
She has to read
So
her
you have
name.
to read
She's like-
that?
she's
I
like,
know, I
oh,
read-
look at the thing. I'm D. Rebecca. I'm from the Community Live Ops Lotus.
Yeah. Okay, your turn.
Okay, go ahead.
You're-
it's
no,
fine.
you're-
Oh, I can read my own name?
Yeah.
I'm a dev.
Drops
D.
and
Sheldon.
Barrow in your intro.
Yeah. And I'm Barrow and Drops.
I wanted
So-
everyone to have an angle to know what questions to ask each
Pets.
person later. So if you like drop tables, you can talk to Sheldon.
Oh, that's great.
I'm Steve Sinclair. I'm creative director, and I love you all. And thank you so much for coming and sitting up close and making it feel very cozy and awesome.
Yeah, you guys are blowing our minds with how many of you are here. So
And then you have
thank
to go spread with your headbands and advertise the game.
This is definitely
Go forth,
this is
young
the biggest.
Tenno.
This is the largest venue yet for
For
us
sure.
at a PAX, I think.
Yep.
So it's a little awesome, and
Super awesome.
we're gonna
Oh,
give
I
you
got
some.
a powder. I just saw my face.
Oh
already.
man, there are people back there that are they're like the
Blinded.
glare.
I
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
blinded.
we're getting
Come
them.
on.
Sorry about the
Yeah.
head. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
So maybe you're here because you actually don't know what Warframe is, and you thought, oh, I heard my friend plays that game, and I want to know a bit more about it. These are 5 facts, I think, that you can take away from this. Warframe is a free-to-play game on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. It's a third-person shooter. We launched an open beta on Steam in 2013. We have
Still in open beta.
Steam open beta. What?
Yeah, we're still in open beta.
still-
We are
open beta.
still. We are still
I
in
think
open
we're
beta.
among friends here. Don't know how much we need to
I
explain.
know.
They're laughing
I know.
at
Do
all
I
of these.
need to explain this?
Well, all the inside jokes
I
they're
don't
laughing
know.
at. So
And we have Tenno is the name of our player, but right now
Tenno's player,
I'm
yep.
gonna be moderating this panel with 3 broadish topics.
Okay.
The first is just we've been doing this for 4 years. Surely we learned something, is what I put there. What you're probably here for is future updates, and that's kind of the way we split our game. We've been updating for a long time. We have more updates coming, and then of course the Q&A part, which is always
For you guys, yeah.
awesome. So
That's cool.
we've been doing this for 4 years. Surely we learned something, and surely we need to update our infographics because at this point these are so outdated. And
Oh, wait.
it's-
You mean the 22,791?
that one is itself outdated, I believe,
Yep,
by,
for sure.
by a
By-
little bit.
yeah,
by a
So-
lot.
by double.
Yeah.
By half. Yep.
No.
It's insane.
Interesting.
No.
Okay.
Anywho,
So that's what we learned. We're going to get
yeah.
new infographics.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not making. I made you an emoji.
okay.
Not quite as cool, but we have deployments. We've done 573 deployments on PC, with a batch of other smaller hotfixes when we really break something and we
Wow.
fix.
Yep, that's a lot.
We have an Xbox One with 28 certed builds, PS4 with 28 certed builds.
Right on.
We've done a lot of deployments of this game.
Yes, we
Yeah,
have.
that's what the game's about, right? You guys love the fact that we update the game all the time, right?
Yeah.
Just making sure. Just making sure.
I know, right? I've learned. I actually downloaded.
We've been experiencing that.
Yeah, we've seen the internet here. We
Yep.
know.
So
Yeah.
of all
My
the
roaming bill's at $5,000, so it's really interesting.
we can't go back to our home country now.
I'm going to be
They're not gonna let us-
assassinated.
They're not going to let us back in.
There's a moose waiting to kick my ass when I get back to Canada. You roam too much.
I do have. I do have a question for you about that, though.
Oh, yeah?
Of all those deployments, if they're Was anything you wish you did differently?
We start sweating now.
And now you're sweating. Now your glare is on.
Here we go.
What do we wish we did differently in all those deployments?
Well, we've done so many of them. Surely you made a mistake at least once. And differently doesn't necessarily mean mistake, but just different, you know? Maybe you wish you painted the wall pink instead of blue. I don't know.
I mean, there's like two ways of approaching this question. One's like the broad things, and then there's like specifics. So the specific one for me that always like haunts me in my dreams was the randomizer of the Kubro colors. That was literally the worst decision I've ever made on Warframe personally. And I when I saw someone pulled that lever like 100 times in 5 minutes after we released it, it was just panic to remove that as quick as we possibly could, because it was totally not what we wanted the game
That
to
was
be.
2014. I remember that day well.
So that one was hard. I'm talking about, I'm getting a little
Yeah.
You getting emotional?
weepy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
a
I
little
think
weepy
that's
about
one of those
that,
things because
so.
we're a free-to-play game, and the fairness of our product is always the sword will fall on or
Yep.
proudly wield, because free-to-play is so scrutinized for monetization, and
Yep.
once you make a mistake, it's really hard to.
Well, and the thing about that was that it seemed really cool from a like intellectually, like, oh, okay, and they could just they could get any random coolness that they wanted to, but it's totally against kind of our philosophy, and that's what it was. I think that's one of the things that after all those deployments, you just start learning. You learn what Warframe is, and like through 500 deployments, we just keep getting that incremental. We learn just a little bit more about what's the right thing to do, and not that we won't make more mistakes, but we start getting more and more of that. Those experiences kind of build so that when we're making new decisions, we come up with the right ones. Hopefully, I don't know. That's my specific. If you have a
Yeah, I remember was update 7 with the new mods. Was that update 7?
update 7.
And
Update
I was
Storm.
in council chat on IRC and it was very small, and some guy said I was a money-grubbing Korean meat grinder. And the other one was the event where we revealed the blueprint for
Frost Prime.
And I was in chat as everyone kind of finished the event and unlocked it, and they were extremely upset. So those were two ones that I feel the ouch.
That hurt. Yeah.
That hurt
So
a
you've
lot.
been lingering to this different. That's like 4 years ago.
I just got that off my chest. I feel much better.
This is a counseling
I had,
session.
I had to
come
leave the
here
country to be able
Yeah,
to
this is
kind
actually
of
a therapy session.
find that out about myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the updates that, yeah, those were the days when I would just go over and push the button.
Yeah.
And it didn't have a real big process. And I feel feisty.
It's weird. The one thing I was thinking about when you were saying that was like, the thing is, I feel like regret for some of just the way we hurt ourselves with some of the marathons. Before we kind of got to the point where we were like, we felt secure enough because of you guys that we could say, okay, we're not going to stay till 5 a.m. today. We're not going to all be worried that we're going to, like, I used to worry about people dying going home. I literally would go in and be like, okay, we're just going to take cabs, everybody, because I don't want people on the road after this much
This is
time.
a very serious turn.
I know,
I was
sorry.
thinking more like,
Sorry.
oh, we should.
You told us to be.
I know.
To be serious.
I
To
was
give
like,
you guys
Linda-
real information. So the real information was just like, wow, the whole staff was going to die.
Oh my god.
So we learned not to
That's
do
not
that
true.
anymore.
That's not
Yeah,
true.
but I agree with Sheldon. I think the monetization ones are the ones that are the most difficult, because that's the sort of, I know I've been seeing people with founder shirts all the way across the world here, so it's been I'm very grateful to those people that supported us so
Yes, thank
early
you.
on. Yes, thank you. Yeah, so it's those sorts of things that continue to be interesting, and when we bring new systems in, like the Kubro and that sort of thing, we always have this kind of back and forth thing, because we do kind of give the store away for free, generally speaking. So that's the tough part.
War and Broken War was another one that was
Yeah,
that was a little weird.
War and Broken
how
War.
how do you get back and forth between it? And I remember talking about it and being kind of excited, like the only way you can do it is this way, and then you can never go back. That sounds awesome. No, it's not awesome.
We're,
People hated that.
we're a collector's game, so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
very
everybody
difficult.
wants everything.
But
So-
we'll give you some reprieve from the thoughts
Okay,
of murdering the entire staff,
Yep.
and we'll move on to.
Wasn't saying murder, but
being involuntarily responsible. Of all the deployments, the hundreds now, what are you most proud
Why's
of?
the Lotus on that one?
They're all fan art.
Okay, this is all fan art. Cool.
Well,
This isn't just.
for these questions, they are.
Okay, cool.
Actually, I had one of the pictures from an artist who's here tonight, but I switched it out at the last minute because I didn't want you to. Well,
Okay.
it's the amazing squished face Kavat one, wherever you
Oh,
are.
I love that. I love
You're
that.
right
I
there.
just
I
saw
see
today.
you.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, moments of pride.
Oh, moments of pride. Oh God. See, that's
You have to-
That's so much easier.
Yeah, it
Is
is
it?
easier.
Yeah, it's so much easier. I mean, it's like, sorry, you know
You
what?
don't live in
Steve,
a-
I'd love to hear your thoughts first.
Oh, clearly it's a second dream. I mean, watching, we launched that, we were exhausted, and then we just watched people play it on streaming, and it was just incredible.
Yeah.
That was the most gratifying. And I had people from all departments at DE sent me messages. This is my most proud thing I've ever done in the game. Like Makni, our graphic artist who designed the Tenno School UI, he said, I'm just so proud of this, and to see the people reacting to their work is really a different experience, because that's a cool thing. You update and you get feedback. Sometimes it's not good, sometimes it's good, and that's been very different for the studio and very empowering to have that relationship with the players that we never had before. It was usually a relationship with the business and the publishers, and then you kind of dump and run. This one is you got to stick with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't dispute. I think Second Dream for me too. I remember when internally people were playing through it. People like the example I remember is Cole, who's voiced how many characters does Cole voice?
Alid, Captain Vor, Sargus Ruck.
Yeah, so Cole played through it before we released it.
Oh, that was very awkward,
a
actually.
few- yeah.
Cole,
Yeah.
I'm sorry if you're watching
Yeah,
this.
sorry about this, Cole.
Yep.
I'm now telling the story, so I can't back out now.
Yeah.
But just that he was crying.
Yeah.
Like he played it, and it's like oh my God, like this.
I didn't know what to do. He
didn't-
was like standing at the door and just like, he was doing like the manly kind
Poor
of,
Cole.
like chopping onions kind of thing. And I was like, what's happened? Like, is there something wrong in his family? He's like, I just finished the quest. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. And that's when we thought.
So
okay,
it sounds like
yeah.
for you, everything so far has pivoted on either employees crying, employees being
Yeah,
sleep deprived. I'm starting to sense a theme here.
Oh man, this isn't gonna go
They're
well.
tears. They're delicious tears.
Tears of staff.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh. What about you? Why don't you tell us?
Second dream. Yeah.
So it's all
we
second
all have the same answer, I guess.
Yeah, and which is probably we're probably all there because one, now you can replay the Second Dream.
Yeah, as
which
of
is awesome,
yesterday
right? As
in
of
Australia,
yesterday, yeah.
I don't even know anymore.
And you need to have played the
It's
Second
live.
Dream.
Thank you.
To get ready for War with Him.
Yes.
So,
yes,
yeah.
get your
We'll
David
get to that
Tennant
part of
crying
the
in
panel.
in the rain gifts
Yeah,
ready
yeah,
for
more
this
crying,
one.
yeah.
Yep.
All right, I feel like this question's misleading, and it sounded better in my head, but it's a true or false statement.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Warframe's frequent
patently false,
updates
yeah.
have kept Warframe successful.
It's interesting. Like I think I feel like that is the software industry almost now in
Yep.
a way. Like I was reading, I like Vine, and they're kind of shutting it down. And there was an opinion article about how they didn't update enough and they didn't adapt and grow the app enough. And I think that's a big thing for us. I know this year's been light on new Warframes. I think we're probably
There's a slide about
you're
that.
going to be talking
Don't
about
get ahead of me.
that. Sorry. So this is something we've been really kicking ourselves this year, is how the ambition of War Within really derailed a lot of systems and things like that.
Yeah.
And it kind of cast this weird shadow over the other stuff we did release because it wasn't War Within.
Yeah,
so
we talked about War Within so early because of how we were so excited about Second Dream's success. We wanted to keep building on that and give you guys more of that lore and those things that you really want. And so we started talking about it like in March
Yep.
Yeah.
or something.
And we had a version of the script. I think
did.
Reddit probably
Yep.
found it and posted it, and
Yeah, that one's gone.
that was devastating. But it'll be worth the wait.
Promise.
I promise.
Yeah.
What's
Oh,
this?
and that's like shit,
You told me to put these in
next week, right?
10 minutes before the
Yeah,
panel.
next week.
Yeah.
You wanted me to put these in here.
Yes, I'm very,
You said put it in when we talk about updates.
currently, I'm most proud of this right now.
the Second Dream.
So,
People are looking at that and just doing the mental math. Yeah.
yeah, I think this here, the net worth of this picture is
Oh
like,
my God.
like
Yeah, for
30
those of
million
you that
credits.
didn't get to play today, you didn't see Prime Pedestal. Did everybody see this yet? Yeah. It's very cheap.
Yeah, no,
It's not cheap.
it's a
Not
million
cheap.
credits
Million
each.
credits each.
But it's a surprise. It's a smash hit. Exactly. Exactly.
Perfect.
It's a credit economy drain.
Yep.
But I think if you're here and you're playing in console, I just wanted to include this slide as well, just to tell you guys that you're actually getting your update next week. So if you're a PS4 or Xbox One player, you're getting an update, a deployment, as
Yes.
you know, this will be your 29th, according to my count, which is probably wrong, but you're getting it next week. And I'm bringing this up for a really important reason, because the community is here right now, and we obviously run a lot of statistics on, and you know, anyone that looks at our Steam graphs, anyone that looks at kind of the only publicly available information on our player base is looking and always going, oh, you didn't release War Within, game's dying, yada yada. And then we release, which is
The
not
Doom
true.
thread.
The Doom
Yeah,
threads.
Doom,
It's not
yeah.
true. But we did something this year. We did 3 updates in October on PC in particular that created a player base change that had never been seen before. It wasn't concurrence, but we went with updates that focused on community items. We went from going to a baseline to the highest jump in percentage of online players proportionally in Warframe's history. So if we were at a number, the jump proportion-wise, percent-wise, was 3 of the largest spikes ever. And
this is like community stuff.
and that wasn't stuff that was for sale. That wasn't a new Warframe.
Yeah.
That was the vacuum precept from our Sentinel carrier going elsewhere. That was after we launched the sort of War Within, get ready, finish your junctions, people.
Yeah, finish
do
them
it.
up.
And double affinity weekend. So those 3 things happened, and they created a change in players coming back to the game. And it's a different type of content. And what I want to know is what you think about those types of wish fulfillment community updates as opposed to releasing a Warframe, because we've only done 2 Warframes this year, but
Well, that's true. We have only done 2 so far this year, but I don't know. I mean, I think that's one of those other things that you learn over 500 deployments is you learn how much impact our players have. I mean, we knew that, we've known that, but we continue to learn it. We continue to see that when we see stuff like that, it's like, oh, we made some changes that the community was really calling for, and that changed our player base. It's insane, right? It just tells you that, like Steve was saying earlier, we're no longer responsible to big publishers and, you know, the man. We're responsible to you guys. It's pretty cool.
so does it reinforce, because I think we do need to be really careful as well about, you know, I think there's a Pokemon quote, if they put everything every player wanted in the game, like there wouldn't be a game.
Sure.
But we try to do that a lot, and we try and find the angles that players want to see expanded on, changed. How do you feel about incorporating that into your goals and your visions? Because of course, you know, the War Within, no one really knows what's coming. They know they want another cinematic quest to feel the same way they did like Second Dream, but how do you build
To feel much worse. Yep.
yeah, to feel sad
Yeah,
and lost.
To feel even worse.
But really, I guess that means is when you think of the game in another 4 years, where do you see it? Because we got 4
Right.
years. This is Blazing Cobalts, by the way.
Yep.
Okay.
Cute.
That was very nice.
Where do you see it in another 4 years?
Well, yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Stephen, if you could
Please
answer
tell
that.
us.
Yeah. Well, there's no wood to knock on. So, I mean, it is my dream job. So I hope I still am doing this in another 4 years. And I hope we can keep you guys entertained and challenged enough that we can do that in 4 years. I think in the short term stuff, the things that we're working on are, well, yeah. Where's my spoiler king?
I don't know.
Where's my
Just
spoiler
give a
king?
check
We talked about some of the damage system and the challenge for high-end play. We don't think it's in a good place right now.
Yep.
So the shorter term stuff is the Syndicate assassination missions and the Syndicate savior missions. Going back to looking at dojos and clan play and basically the resurgence of the Dark Sector system that we've imagined since the beginning and is part of why that map got so massively reworked. So that's going to keep us busy, I think, till the end of the year. And then, of course, we've been teasing this new enemy faction, and that I think will define a lot of next year's moves.
Sentience?
Yeah, the sentience, and possibly getting out of the solar system, that sort of thing, and seeing really new horizons in the game. On the gameplay side of things, I think maybe people have seen like the foliage tweets and that sort of thing. What we're really looking to do is to try to add larger sandbox elements to the game. So generally it feels kind of like a dungeon crawling game right now for the most part. And the Queen's Fortress is a bit of a kind of an asteroid dungeon. And what our level designers have been prototyping is kind of more I'm hesitate to call it open world, but it is more.
Do not say that if it's not true.
Yeah, it's not that. It's not that. But it's more those great moments in, say, like Halo 3, where the spaces and the layout, there's this kind of more sensible, and you're, in larger terrain landscapes moving through and, bullet jumping and chopping heads off and stuff like that.
That's cool.
So we want to see the game continue to live for that long, which means I think we still need to continue to be sort of innovative in our own way and grow it and change it a lot. Yeah. And then the Warframe movie, of course, that will come out in a few years.
Yeah, the live action,
All right. Well, with all that said, we do have the idea that future updates are what a lot of you are probably here for.
Oh, no, that was it. They just wanted to hear how development works. Yeah,
Tad Morose.
Yeah,
Tad Morose.
Okay.
So we have, the name of the game is Warframe, and we have a lot of them released. We have this many. I forget how many. I think it's 30. And I said earlier that we've only released 2 Warframes so far this year. Last year, we released Wukong, Nezha, Ibara, Atlas, Equinox, and Chroma, which is more than 2. We're in November. I see there's 2...
running out the clock here, yeah.
Yeah, those are 2 question marks, and I think those question marks are kind of like, they have 2016 in them.
Oh, so 2 more by the end of the
Maybe.
year. Is that a promise or a maybe? Because, as you guys know...
Soon TM.
Soon TM, yeah, for sure. But let's take a look.
Yeah. So you're getting the musician.
Yep.
She,
Yep.
pretty exciting. I think her color scheme's going to be neon. I don't know if
No, it's not.
no.
No.
Did Minky say no?
No, I just want to fight. I want to have we're gonna play Magic and we're gonna decide.
I'll crush you. So Steve made a quick video experiment. Maybe you should introduce this because I don't want to do your masterpiece any ill.
Oh, it's not a masterpiece. I think I made this in the hotel this morning.
All right.
And I don't think I know.
Here we go.
So this is just a prototype.
It's playing.
Okay, sure. Put an E note there. Oh, beautiful. Yep. Oh, look at that, Steve. You're so clever. A little upbeat. So it's a step sequencer that the musician Warframe you can use to compose the songs that he plays or she plays, and those songs, the composition of the songs are played when you're using your powers. And our goal with that is that if other players are using the musician frame, that you're synced, so that your compositions can actually perform together without it all being chaotic and that sort of thing. So the tempos will all line up. So you don't need to be, a fantastic musician. This is all just sort of temporary UI and temporary sounds. But the idea is that, hey, if he's a musician, Warframe, you guys should make your own personal song. So this is taking our kind of personalization, much deeper, specifically for the game mechanics of this Warframe. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh my God!
I
I'm so
can't
excited.
wait.
Yeah.
It's so cool. So,
And that's why it's not ready yet.
yeah, and that's
Yeah.
so I'm gonna be that jerk that why can't I just do every column, every note, and just be the troll in the group that's just like and all of that.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna be.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes.
It's true.
And limbo, yes. Right. Yeah, well, that's part of the things that we're solving. You have a limited number of note placements that you can
Right.
do and that sort of thing. But she's got this kind of that shape on her arm, and that's her composition.
Right. So you will be making your own music. And because of all this sort of complexity and the fact that we are building your own music creation system for this Warframe, someone else is going to come instead before them.
Yeah.
But what could the theme be?
I wonder if there's any guesses.
Have we revealed this?
No,
Have
this
we
is the
said
first
anything
time.
about this other frame?
Nothing.
Okay. All right.
Oh my God!
This is
Wait.
what-
Don't hit
No,
next yet.
don't hit next. Okay.
next. Yeah.
So we need to talk about the bard just for another second.
Well, that's true. Yes.
I don't feel like I think also on top of the reason why it's not coming is just you have a musical frame and you want to talk about how does a musical frame kind of get into the game? Like the quest to get this
Right.
has to be important. And it's not that this next frame doesn't have an important piece to it. In fact, the lore ramifications of this next frame are kind of
More significant for
more
sure.
significant.
Yep.
But I wish we could. How do you tease it? How do you does
Well-
anybody have a guess?
Of the next frame, or
Yeah.
I do.
We planned this. This is great. Okay, what is it?
Well, Minky was kind enough to provide us with a concept of their two forms, so to speak. Their,
Okay.
and it is an infested frame.
The infested frame.
So here he
Oh
is.
my
Yeah, this is sort of Pablo's brainchild, I think, in a
Okay,
way. Minky's
yes.
art. Pablo's
Right.
wants this infested frame. He's got pink, so maybe we won't get a neon musician now that
There
I
you
think
go,
about
yep.
it. Yeah, so he has these two forms. The first form is, are you trying to find out what Pablo said about him? It's the I know, right? So
It's kind of what the infested are like, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, his first ability is like a straight line AoE. I think we even have the
I do.
concept of
You got
that.
some stuff?
He's going to have, well, first of all, if you are fond of the maggots that the infested make, you get your own. He's
There we go.
you get to make your own maggots, which
Very
is
Cthulhu feeling.
totally.
Warframe, make your own music, make your own maggots.
Yeah, I know. We kind of split our player base into two boxes: the musical artsy ones and the one that want to make maggots.
maggots.
So
Infestation pustule. I'm getting hungry.
Oh.
Infestation maggot.
Yeah.
Infestation pod and infestation tendrils.
I think the first one. This is the first power, or is this? This is
That
the.
is the first power.
Yeah, so it's kind of like Frost's ice wave, but with
Yep.
But more gross and fleshy.
yes. And there's a number of
And the damage increases for every enemy it hits along the wave. The damage increases for the successive ones. So it has a little bit of skill use if you're lining them up to try to. It's like a combo multiplier almost.
Like, what's
As it's
George going to
aggressive.
do for sound for this?
This
like
is gonna be a
bag
lot of
full
rot-
beetles getting
yeah.
squished every time?
Oh, you think we're actually going to crush some bugs?
Hope not.
You're going to make
Interesting.
bugs. So. Yeah.
We're in Australia. We can. Oh, now we get in trouble.
Let's not talk about Australian
Never mind.
bugs
I
at
know.
all.
I don't
Yeah,
want
they sprayed us on the airplane.
Yeah, we
was
got
weird.
quarantined.
He said
Yeah.
we couldn't leave the plane until they sprayed us.
Yeah.
And then they came and they sprayed us.
I feel like it was a protection measure. Like
Yep.
they were protecting us from Australia.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
possible.
I tried to troll him because he's like, "Oh my god, they're spraying me. They're spraying the plane," and I'm like, "What? No. Why?
do
Are
this to
you
us."
okay? What? Were you coughing? What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I'm just kidding. They sprayed us too." Yeah.
That was before Tim Tams changed your life, and now you're a happier, less
Yep.
trolly person. But
So do we have more of the power? Like,
so yeah, the powers. I guess
yeah.
you're the
No,
one that
yes.
has the doc
have
on.
the- you have
You
the
have a
doc.
conversation with Pablo.
I
Open.
do, yeah. Okay,
Professional.
so yeah, the second ability is creating those infested tendrils
Yep.
that pull enemies together, which is really cool.
oh, do we have that picture up?
There is a photo.
Oh yeah, cool.
Okay, yep.
The third, it creates a symbiotic link. If you do that to a friend, it's going to increase both of your damages, and if you do an enemy, it's going to do a damage redirection.
Okay.
And then his fourth one infests the area around him, and he regenerates life faster while he's on there. And I quote, "And maggots come from it that
This is
that latch onto enemies, cease seeing them, and exploding after a few seconds."
that sounds pretty rough.
Yep.
I'm ready to make some maggots. I
So
think.
where our goal is, if Second Dream was to make you cry, this one's to make you throw up.
Yeah.
This is to gross you out.
We're trying to get every bodily fluid. Oh, never mind.
Oh boy.
Oh God.
Well, it's getting hot in the air.
I know. I know. I'll just get over here now.
Yep.
It's true. You can have a hydroid maggot party.
Oh my God.
Tentacle
Yeah.
maggot party.
Tentacle wetness.
Rated M for mature.
Yeah. We are rated M.
I've seen that anime. Yep.
It's true.
Yep. Okay.
I do think a lot of folks are here for a very important discussion.
Are really?
Oh, a discussion.
Great
Prime.
The
I'm
Great
waiting
Prime
for
discussion.
2 million
We
credits.
do have an image. So
Clem
Oh.
Prime. Aardvark Prime.
All
That's
the
coming too,
primes.
right? Yeah, I forgot about that.
So we do have to talk a little bit about, of course, the War Within, which is the next update for, consoles get their update next week and then their next update. So we are giving these away.
We're gonna give some of these away, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But that's for later, for the Q&A section, which we are not quite at yet.
So you can win some stuff in the Q&A
Some
section.
swag and
Yes,
stuff.
there is
Okay,
stuff.
wow, all right.
I have
Q&A.
Necros Prime as well to give away. Prime Access Packs. Wow.
Oh,
Don't take a picture of that. Oh my God. Hacked. I got hacked. Oh no.
Oh, like the
Yeah, like
the code. I hate the
yeah,
code. I
yeah.
hate
There is a
that
code.
stuff.
Don't show it. Oh, I hacked myself. Damn it. Leave it.
Okay.
Just don't touch anything.
All right, sorry.
So The War Within, how do you feel knowing it's coming so soon, and how soon is it coming, and what's it like to have everything you've worked on your entire life about to be
So
judged?
what's the date
and-
here? This is like in Canada right now.
In Canada, let me
it's
check.
Friday or
It's Friday. It's
it's
midnight.
fun.
It's actually in Eastern time zone. We actually got our hosting up. So hello, Twitch viewers, by the way. We are.
hey guys.
All right.
So that means if it's Friday,
It's 12:36 in the morning on Saturday, technically.
right? So if we carry so that means next week. For War
Oh.
Within.
You're doing the math?
I'm doing the math. Yeah, I'm calculating the hours remaining. So next week will be War Within,
All right. So
which means
what-
2 weeks in Australia.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, with your download speed.
With the download
and-
speed comes.
Well, they're in the future because it was so funny because this is the first time I've been not in the Eastern time zone when Barrow came out, and I was like, it was 1 o'clock on Friday. I'm like, yeah, where's Barrow? And then I realized it was going to be at 5 in the morning on Saturday, and I was like, we
Yeah.
suck.
And we had it like at breakfast this morning. Rebecca's like, and that should be an evergreen. That should just keep coming. And I'm like, no, that's just once in a while.
The
And she's like,
pedestal?
yeah. How am I gonna get it then? Was her response.
yeah,
So,
like,
yep.
keep bringing
Cool.
it back.
Driving borrow. Yeah. So War Within.
Yeah, War
Next
Within.
week. Are we showing anything?
I do have a video.
These are the main character. This is the sort of the main cast of the War Within.
Sorry if we could get the picture back up there.
We've got Teshin, and we've got the Tenno and the Grenier Queens. The amount of work that's gone into this quest makes the Second Dream effort laughable, to be honest. And I think that was only because we got ahead of ourselves. We just lost control of ourselves. We thought Second Dream was so amazing, and we thought, well, we're gonna just blow them away with the follow up, and that meant that the script was twice as long. That meant that the script took twice as long, and the number of cinematics in Second Dream, I think, probably like literally just 3, as I recall.
3 times? Oh, sorry, three.
There was 3 cinematics
Yeah,
in
there's
Second
3.
Dream.
Yeah.
There's 3, and I don't
War
know.
Within's a lot.
War Within is just massive. There's probably 12. There's like 5 principal ones. It's just the amount that's in there. Yeah, and I can't really talk about it because it's just so spoiler laden. It's just everything in it I hope is going to really surprise and delight people and be intriguing, and it's going to, delve deeper into the evolving story of what you guys experience in Warframe. Yeah, so I'm basically scared shitless.
Yeah, I know. It's. We do have a quick gameplay video to show you. The missions themselves, there's several of them, many, more than several. Lots of missions. This one is just showing you kind of what I thought was a really fun flavor to Arcwing in this particular quest. But
Right, there's a lot of custom gameplay.
and I
It's
think-
not just cinematics. The way the quest works, there's just so much interesting new gameplay, and even imagine this, even gameplay you can fail at because,
Yeah, I know.
because it's not just how crazy
How many form
crit,
are-
yeah, how
yeah.
many crazy crit build or anything like that. It's interesting and it's challenging. It's very different, and that's I think what's made it take so damn long to finish.
Yeah.
So the next video is just, it is our last video of the panel, but we do have Q&A and prizes after. This video is a little bit of gameplay that's a really important point for you as a player to know what you're getting into. So the last few minutes of the video, you want to read really fast and really closely, because
Read
yeah,
really fast.
yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully,
It's
you
a
guys-
reading video.
Wow.
it's a reading video. It's just all right. Here we go. Please don't screw up. Come on, baby.
Are you seeing this? It must be Queen's Fortress. Are those Fomorian engines mounted on an asteroid? No wonder we've never been able to find it. It's always moving.
Excellent. Now get out of there. We need to analyze the intel we gathered before our next move.
Negative. I'm heading in for a closer look.
There's a lot of transference to store. I recommend listening and read caution to reach out.
There's no turning back.
Yeah, so that was the moment when I was playing through it. It was like, oh shit, there's no turn. That's it. Once you go there, and I don't know if you noticed, that was the first on-foot to Arcwing transition as well, which is pretty exciting.
That was very cool.
Which I kind of screwed up because I rolled into it, but ignore that.
That's all right.
Suck.
Yeah, so this is why we haven't released it in pieces, because much of this quest hinges on a no turning back moment very early on. So hopefully when you play it, you'll get the chills that I've been as I've been playing it. It's
That's just the third
very
mission.
exciting. And we're going to release it next week, and hopefully it's not too buggy.
Wow.
That's cool.
We'll be fine.
Yep.
We always are. We've done 500 and something
500 of
upgrades. What's
these.
another
one more?
700?
What's one more that's the biggest we've ever done? Cool.
But I do wanted,
Yeah, and the War Within, I always say this on the dev streams, but the War Within is yet another advancement for the technology of the game, which, again, when you have a very long-running game, you can't have 2004 graphics and sound system, that sort of thing. So for me, that's kind of part of what I do on the game as well. And so the quality of the art, the quality of the lighting, the quality of the rendering is going to be taking another sort of step up, and the quality of the audio engine as well has been, with the obstruction modeling.
Yes.
There's a lot of really interesting things there. If you have a toaster, then you can turn off the stuff so you can still play it. Yep. Don't need to worry about that.
there's someone with a toaster right there. I know it.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
They were expressing their sadness earlier.
And we're bringing that technology. Of course, if you play on console, I know I met some friendly people yesterday who were playing on console, and these are the sorts of things that we try to bring up with our major updates, is just kind of breathe new life into the game. And this is going to be it. It's going to be awesome.
So I'm going to do Q&A now.
Okay.
This is like our live audience dev stream is what we call them. It's your turn to ask us questions, but I always like to have trivia at these panels. So if you do want to get in line to ask us something, we have 10. Yeah, I know. Oh my gosh. There's two mics. So
And
we'll
also, just so you know, we didn't travel around the world to jet away from this session.
Yes, that's also important.
So if you want to get a picture with us, I want that too, or meet.
Yeah,
I'd love
hugs.
to meet you.
Yeah.
We're not going to run away. We're going to stick around.
Yeah, they kick us out of the room at
We'll
like
be-
4, but we'll go out there after and we'll hang out and everything. So don't worry. And we're gonna try and find a place. Pardon? The queue room. What's the queue room? Oh, out there. Yes, of course. Queue as in a line.
Yeah,
Yes.
queue. Yep. Yeah. So we can answer if you don't get your answer question, because looking at the lineup, I think there's going to be a few disappointed people.
Yep.
But we're going to be answering questions. I want to meet everyone.
Yes.
As I know that that there's a lot of people that didn't get to meet us or talk to us or ask their questions.
wanna meet you guys.
So we
So
want to meet you guys.
came
we're
here
going
to
to
meet
start
all of
with
you.
the right because you gave us Tim Tams,
Yep.
so you immediately. Do you want? You're going to be eligible to win either a poster or a Necros Prime Access if you can answer the following question right. Which animation set was most purchased in October?
Now, if he gets it wrong, don't blurt it
Yeah,
out, because what happens is if it goes
Yeah.
back and the next person has a chance.
There are many lovely animations up there. Let's go for the Titania Noble because it is so awesome. No other reason.
You are correct. Oh. Yes. Do you want a Necros Prime Access or a War Within poster?
Look, what I'm going to do, let me ask my question, okay?
Of course.
So,
All right.
right.
My name's Cy21. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm here as a representative of the Corgi Army, W. Greats' stream, many other fantastic streamers, Daniel the Demon, Exia Rowe. There are huge amounts. Animated Break, Sure Gaming.
They're the best. I love them all.
That's right. And I mean, there's some guys doing a world record run, that sort of thing. We are based on community, and that's where I come to you at. And people are going to hate me because I'm asking you a community question. DE has been so open with us that it's nearly, in a way, you're failing. You get criticised because you go, hey, we want to do this, and you've taken the step off the ledge maybe a little bit too early. As a community, is there some way that we can help you?
Seconded.
Wow. Good question.
Wow. I can't think of anything more important to me working with the community than honesty. And I understand that sometimes you can be honest and you can be emotional. I can deal with that. We can deal with that. It's just, if you don't tell us exactly the honest reaction to something, it just becomes a guessing game, and we guess wrong. And it becomes hard for us to know, because then you'll say, well, we didn't want, it's just, honesty to me is the most important thing when I talk to players, because it just makes everything so much more authentic and everything so much more just, I don't know. Now I don't know what to say.
It is tough, because we do have I think what happens is we get really excited about features we're working on, or the current implementation of a feature that we're working on. So we say soon TM and we say stuff like that because we know we're trying to like kind of give ourselves like a little wiggle room out of the things that we say in a way. And I guess as a community, it's just, sometimes when we're saying things on streams, it's taking them as what we are, which is just, regular people sitting around talking about a game that we're working on. Just remembering that, I guess. But I mean, I do think Rebecca has a great point. It's just honestly give us your reactions. I think that's what we really want. We don't want...
Yeah, and I think it's also you can tell us your honesty, but you also have to be aware of the expectation of what that honesty comes with. Because I could honestly say like, oh, I don't like that. We might never be able to change that. Or you just need to be understanding that your honesty is what we want, but not like it's very complex.
This is a big question.
That's a very good question.
It's a very big question.
I appreciate
how
the
about more
maturity.
Tim Tams? More Tim
The
Tams.
maturity of the community. I appreciate the community helping out new players and not being hostile and elitist with them, and I see that a lot in Warframe.
For sure.
I see the positivity and the welcoming of new players, and when our team starts new accounts and plays through and meets veteran players who give them gifts,
we do this all the
not
time.
knowing it's us,
Yep.
and gives them gifts and gives them tips and helps them through the game, those are the things that make me very, very proud of the community. Yeah.
So thank you.
So
thank
in
you.
response to your thing, which one would I like? There is actually a live viewing party going on with W Greats right now.
Hi, great.
They are all watching. They're all on Discord. I was live with them just before. And we are having an Australian Corgi Army meetup straight after this. So I would like you to find a winner of that after the stream at the Corgi Army meetup.
I will be there and I will decide a winner.
Whatever you decide.
Oh, you want to give your prize away? Very good. Yes.
The
Thank you.
answer,
Very
if you want the
generous.
prize from
Okay.
Sai, it's
Yep.
Tim Tams. Bring me them.
Yep.
Thank you. You're a saint. You are a saint. I'm never leaving Australia, is all I have to say. At this point. Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you got a question.
Yep.
Which
Great.
market item appears the most on the most wish lists in October? Was it the Oregon Catalyst, the Oregon Reactor, the Forma Bundle, or the Tonkor?
I'm going to go with the Tonkor.
I'm sorry, that's not correct. That means it's next to you, but don't say anything
Don't
yet.
say anything
But what's
yet.
your question?
As someone who can't use keyboard and mouse for a very long time, are you going to add full controller support to the PC build?
So this is a very tricky question. Are we going to do full controller support to PC? And every time we talk to the UI guys, they kind of give us a no. I'm sorry, but it's always in a state of flux because we know it's needed, but acting on it is shockingly like we have a console version of the game, so we already have controller support.
Mm-hmm.
But actually making the PC version so you don't have to reach up and use certain menu items.
Yeah, I think, well, the short answer to that is yes. The longer answer is every time we attempt that, then we add a new system to the game, which means it's expedient for us to do the mouse and keyboard aspects of those first. I personally play a lot on controller and send Jira tasks to our overworked UI guys, so we just need to get it done.
Because I'm learning programming at uni at the moment for games development, and when I saw you introduce the mouse, like the controller cursor into the new UI, the star map, I thought you could just possibly like take sort of that system and put it almost everywhere else.
Yes, and we have been talking about that with the UI guys. That certainly is the way we're seeing console games now go, to kind of make that easier for them to do real complex UI and without having to do the tab ordering and all that sort of stuff you have to do when you're D-pad focused. So yeah, I think that's a good idea. Hopefully we can make that happen.
Yep. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, good question. Thank you.
Hello.
So what's your guess?
Mastery rank, what is Excalibur Prime, Mastery rank 9?
I'm going to guess E, former bundle.
You are correct.
From bundle. Nice.
Would you like a poster or a Necros Prime Access Pack?
I'm going to have to go the Necros Prime.
Are you your PC? 'Cause
PC,
you have
yes.
Excalibur Prime, Mastery
Oh,
rank
yeah.
9, so I will bring you a code.
Such a good pun.
This was the one people saw, so.
Yeah. It was just a glance.
Yep.
Oh, thank
And
you
what's
very
your
much.
And your
question?
question?
Yes, your question, sir.
Well, as you know, I'm a founder. I do have myself a shiny Excalibur Prime. It's just a quick question. In your professional opinions, what is the best rank for an Excalibur Prime?
I would say Mastery rank 9.
I would agree.
It's a
Also-
rhetorical question.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that's
I
awesome.
just also like to give a quick shout out to that dog guy. What was his name again? The Wag Rates or something. Daniel the Demon, Smashly, Animated Break. My favorite streamers, all my friends, great people.
Cool.
There's a little bit of surprise with Daniel the Demon and Greats coming soon, so we'll talk about that more next week, because there may be a dog in the studio, if you catch my
Oh, boy.
drift, so we'll see.
Sounds good.
And a demon, but thank you.
Thanks for your question.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Do we have another trivia question?
We do for a founder, no less.
Okay.
Which was the most crafted Warframe in October? Was it Oberon, Rhino, Nova Prime, or Frost?
Oh, that's interesting. That's tough.
I'm going to go with Nova Prime.
I'm sorry, that's not correct. Your question, though.
But you have a question, so.
Mine's a bit of an out there question. Me being a founder as well, having my own clan and everything with another founder, is there ever going to be any other variations to the obstacle course, or would we actually get a builder for the obstacle course where we can make our own?
Make your own obstacle course.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously where it needs to go.
Yep.
Is to give you guys modular tools to build that stuff rather than waiting for us to kind of configure it. Definitely the lack of changes and evolution in Dojo is bubbling up to this sort of burning pile of things that we must do soon. So definitely, I think, would you like the modular approach more? Probably, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
You'd rather build your
Yep.
own.
Good. Yep.
Don't-
Definitely.
it's a lot easier on you guys as well.
Yeah, it's true. Tennogen isn't like a total.
Yep.
If we give you the tools, great things come out of it. So I am a firm believer in that. So.
Or you can make mechs out of Pedestal Prime.
Exactly. But anyway,
With some.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
do you have a guess for the question of which was the most crafted Warframe? Are you cheating?
Yeah.
So you know it's not Nova Prime.
I know a lot of people would have Frost, a lot of people have Rhino, Oberon's but I'm guessing with a lot of new players coming in for the, as you said, the spikes in our player base, I'm going to say Rhino.
I'm sorry, that's not correct. But let's have your question.
Narrows down.
Okay, something that I was always wondering ever since like I first started playing and found out that you voice the Lotus.
Oh, I do.
At any point, was it ever weird hearing your voice come up in the back of your head and say,
Yes. At first, I was like, it's a placeholder. It doesn't matter. They just needed a voice. And then the more and more it became an actual, it wasn't going anywhere. It just became an exercise in self-criticism and begging to re-record and all of those things. So it went from by necessity to now it's just by, I think, sentimentality, I guess. So, yeah.
You do a great job.
I'm over it now, I think. But
and can I also get a quick shout out to Clan Cephalon Shy?
yes, you can.
Nice.
I don't know. They're obviously going to make a video at some point, probably cut it right here when I wave into the camera and say, hi, quiet, shy. And then they'll go, why did I waste time watching this? And then that'll be their video.
That sounds like something she
Yeah.
would do.
Yeah, sounds about right. So there you go. There's your soundbite.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
All right.
Two
Do you have a
options.
guess?
Two options.
G'day. Yes, Oberon.
That is correct. It is Oberon.
All right.
Sorties.
Do you want Necros Prime Access or do you want the poster?
Poster, please.
All right, Sheldon, if you wouldn't mind running that down, we'll take your question. I know you have your actual tablet with you, so
I have a few. A couple of quick ones and
I
one
think
which-
we only have.
Go with the quick ones. We
Okay.
can discuss the
Go
long
with the
one
quick
after.
ones. All right, here we
So,
go.
first
Yes,
one,
yes, no, maybe.
optimistically. All right, well, that actually kind of works out well with my questions, actually. So, first things, rather than having just one passive, can we have multiple passives? So, let's take, who do I have down? You're looking, so you're looking at something like the melee frames. You've got Excalibur, Rhino, etc., etc. Showing off Wukong's passive, so therefore they can last longer, get up higher melee combat multipliers. And then you have something like the caster frames. They have their passive energy build-up, and they could take on something like the Atlas, where they just build it up and therefore be able to just do more damage. Could that be a thing for just the archetypes of each frames?
You want that at the same time. You
Yeah,
want to
so
even stack that
rather
up.
than,
Interesting.
so you have your melee archetype, your caster archetype, stealth, each one has their niche, and each one has a 2 or 3 passives rather than just the one to have them fill out and actually have a bit more flavor to them.
Yeah, I think we never say never. That's usually Scott would, if Scott was here, he'd probably be like, no. No. But I mean, I think that would be an interesting way, and we're always looking to kind of evolve the gameplay of even all the prior Warframes.
Yeah.
So I think it's an interesting idea. No promises, but yeah.
And for my second question, can we please actually have scythes rather than glorified pickaxes?
Yes, yes, you
Like,
can. Yeah,
'cause-
I know. We're on the art team. We have this conversation frequently, so don't worry. Eventually.
Eventually it'll come.
Eventually.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll come back to you with the other one.
All right, we have a question for you first. Which was the least crafted Warframe in October? So you went from most being Oberon, and this is kind of a trick question, but not really.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Atlas because it's a pain in the butt to get.
It's not Atlas. I'm
Okay.
sorry. All right.
Okay, fair enough.
What's your question, sir?
Well, I was going to ask about modular obstacle courses, but that one's already been done, which is okay. First, kind of building on that, can we actually potentially get more than just running and jumping and parkour for the obstacle courses? For example, I saw in 100 Days of Warframe, there was some combat in there. Combat in the obstacle course would be awesome if you can find a way to get that in. The other question is, I am also a founder, and I've actually worn my Warframe founder t-shirt so often that the pattern's coming clear off because I wear it every week. And unfortunately, I forgot to bring it down to PAX, which I'm kicking myself for. Is there going to be any way for founders to get replacements? I have no problem paying for them, but this is a question I have because I've basically worn the lettering off the thing.
You've worn it out. Well, maybe
Yeah.
maybe that's wear it with pride. You've got
Yeah.
that's
That's
how
a battle
long you've had
scar.
it. Because I mean, just like everything with Prime, everything with founders is just.
You could
one
try and
press
buy
only.
someone else's here.
Oh.
Like, I don't know. He's got one.
There's a black market
What
for
do you sell
founder
it for?
shirts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
know,
sorry.
I know about battle scars. That's fun too.
All right.
Thanks for your question.
Oliver, sorry.
Hey guys.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. So Gears of War 4 finally introduced cross-platform multiplayer, with Windows 10 being a lot more aligned on console, on Xbox in particular. Is there?
I know you got to answer the question. Don't forget.
Answer your
Yeah,
question.
is there? Ember Prime.
That is
got me.
correct.
Thank you.
Do you want Necros Prime Access or a poster?
Necros Prime, please.
Do you want
considering I'm
Xbox?
starting. Yes, please.
Yep.
Yeah, because I'm starting again, so that'd be great.
All right, and you can do your question. I'll bring it to you.
Thanks.
So you're wondering about crossplay.
Yeah, and I understand that the builds are on separate schedules, but even if we on Xbox have to wait just to, thank you, if we just have to wait a few weeks or a month even just to get up to that same build, and then we can have that cross-platform play.
Right.
Because seeing that they've done it in Gears 4 really made me think, well, maybe they could do something like that in Warframe.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple. Steve's the best person to answer it, but I'll just say from a non-technical standpoint, I was thinking a game like yours versus ours and the update cycle makes it really hard. I mean, we're updating every week. We're changing the build, essentially. So keeping PC in sync with Xbox would be really hard. I can imagine ways that could still happen, but it doesn't seem. I'll let Steve talk to it technically.
Yeah, I mean, the technical part is not really most of the problem. Most of the problem is the disparity between the builds. And then you have to build it. You have to build the game so that it's resilient against mismatched inventory states and that sort of thing. So it is something to be really cool, and I think it's awesome in Gears 4 for sure. I have to be non-committal about that.
No, of course.
I think it's the limited resources.
It's beta.
When we're out of beta, then we'll add that feature.
Too good. Thanks.
Yes.
And thanks for coming down, guys.
Good question, nonetheless.
All right, I got a quick question for you. Which object has the most kills in October? Is it? Oh, I got a slide, sir. There you go. Which object has the most kills? AKA, what's getting nerfed? Just kidding. Just joking. I'm joking.
Would it happen to be Ember Prime?
It does not.
Good try.
But they're all up there because they're almost top 4. But anyway, your question.
There are a lot of elemental-based warframes, such as Ember being fire, Saren poison. Is there a chance of there ever being a life one, such as like plants and things like that?
We were kind of that theme has been soft confirmed around the office for a long time.
I agree with that.
Saren was an angle, Titania was the fairy angle, but the plant life-based theme is alive and well in the brains of the office. So I would say
The seed of that is planted.
Oh, don't clap.
Don't clap. No.
Don't clap for him.
I know. I'm sorry. We're going to have to keep going faster. I'm so sorry. Thank you for your question. We're going to keep going as quick as we can because many questions in because I still have prizes and all these good things. And if you're leaving now and you know we want to still hang out and talk after, definitely wait outside. We'll find a place to go after this and I'll hang out and just have a sort of our giant party with everyone. So we'll. So
cool.
Yes. Your question or your answer? I mean, it's not Ember Prime.
Would it be just Ember?
It is not. No.
Oh, good try.
So my question is, it's a slightly different one. Something that's puzzled a lot of me and my friends that play for a while now is inside the ship there is a small patch of infested mess in a corner. Is that leading to something, and can you say what it's leading to?
You need to throw people a bone on that.
Really?
Yep. A little bit. They're scared, Stephen. They're scared.
Give us the spoiler.
That's invested frame. Didn't we just show the invested frame?
Yeah. Well, we did just show an infested frame.
Yeah, like.
But I don't think that's related, actually.
It's not.
That's why they sprayed us when we came from Canada.
Yeah.
That is a new game system behind that door. It explains, it has lore aspects of explaining the biology, the function of the ship that you're in, and we hope that system, we think that system might come in December to PC, but that is, hopefully you have a curiosity that when the door opens, you'll be satisfied by it, and it will introduce some new game systems that seem logically connected to the disgusting mold.
Yep. Don't let your Kubro eat it.
Great hat. Do you have an answer for the most kills? Do you think it's...
I would say Synod Similar.
You are right. Do you want the poster or plat? I mean, the Prime Access.
I have the poster, I think.
Poster?
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, and your question?
Yeah, I have a question that is more like mastery rank. Since I've been helping a lot of new players lately, and I've observed that mastery rank level limits the new early weapon choices. That mainly the new players can only choose between bolter and I don't know which weapons. And I'm thinking maybe revise the mastery level a little bit for different weapon types, since such as the grenade launchers like Penta. I forgot the mastery rank limits, but yeah. So tweak a little bit for the new players, since usually they just end up developing their way with only kind of one or two weapons. Okay, you talk when similar players, and yeah. So like many players just narrow down into 1 or 2 weapons and they don't actually utilize different weapons like phage or artillery tools or other weapons. So I was thinking maybe first let them have more weapon types to use.
Yeah, I think it's like the curve with mastery rank and weapon variety is, I mean, when we were looking at the stats for the question that you answered, actually, you can kind of see that there are some kings and queens by mastery rank of who chooses what and where the variety is sort of lost on the map of everything. And playing with different weapon types earlier, balancing things a little differently is certainly a...
So the question is about increasing weapon variety at the top end. Is that?
Yeah, for the early game.
Yeah, we actually have a top secret aspect to War Within. That's
I'm done.
That's yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Thank
we got
you.
in late.
Yeah. There is something in War Within.
That speaks to that. It's a great question. It's something that we think about a lot as well, and we are going to be taking a few baby steps towards addressing that. But it's super top secret.
And you get a poster. So what we're going to do is, because so we'll get one more question or one more?
Okay, thank you.
And then we still have prizes to give away outside and stuff. We'll make this an ongoing event for the whole day. Don't worry. We'll pack up and meet you outside. Don't worry. But we will take one more question. But I have a question for you first, of course. Which was the most purchased blueprint in October?
It's tough, but
Incubator Power Core?
Yes.
Yay.
Do you want poster or Necros Prime Access?
I'll take the Necros.
What platform?
PC, because I'm actually just starting out on the PC now.
There you go. All right, and your question, sir. Yes, you did it. All right, and you're going to ask us the first question outside. I won't forget you, so don't worry. And then. We'll get you outside. Don't worry.
All right, so I have 2 really quick questions, really fast. Will we be seeing a teaser for the next Prime?
This month you will.
And merchandise-wise, I actually always wanted to ask this. Are you ever thinking of releasing a art book for Warframe? Because the art for that game is amazing. It's a reason. It's the reason why I attracted me to the game.
We've had an art book task open for 3 years. The art book is done, if you consider it done, in March of 2014, which means there's 2.5 years of development missing, which means we could never release that because that wouldn't be an art book. But we are working on it. The task has been open forever. The game changes faster than we're willing to commit on a cutoff end for the book, because even now it's like, oh, well, we really want to put the next Prime in it, so we can't cut off the art book.
Pick that new Prime.
You know, so we will release one. I think, you know, with the sort of discussion of how good, we really like TennoCon, we'd consider selling one there next year and online probably, if I can get it done by then, but we'll see, because I need help and it's hard.
Yeah, we'll do it.
And we'll see.
Yep.
Cool.
Thank you so much
Thank you,
for coming.
everybody.
Guys.
Thank you,
We'll see you guys
everybody.
outside.
Thank you.
We'll see you